and welcome to the 100% Pure New Zealand Winter Games. I'm Mitch Tomlinson and we're at Cardrona for the Border Cross event. The Winter Games are the biggest snow sports event in the Southern Hemisphere. So far we've seen figure skating, cross-country skiing and free skiing. And now it's time to get the snowboard program underway.
Coming up now, Juicy presents the Snowboard Cross from Cardrona.
Border Cross is one of those events that's made for TV. 4 riders go head-to-head in a custom-built course that's full of bank turns and jumps. The first rider to finish the line is the winner. It's simple, it's fast, it gets a little rough, and it's full of action.
Border Cross is an Olympic discipline. It's had 2 runs in the Olympics now, and it's been building a lot of momentum since being included in the Olympics.
Border Cross is similar to, say, motocross on snow. You have four races riding down, first 2 go through the next round. It's basically a battle for whoever gets to the bottom first.
It does get really rough, you know. You can have like crashes and slips and everything. Sometimes you can get slip out into the fences, which is pretty gnarly.
Oh, this one's a fun course today. It's kind of mellow. The one 2 years ago had some bigger features. And I think the relative lack of snow, but this is a fun course. I'm having fun with it today for sure.
It looks smooth and mellow and just really fun to ride, so I'm stoked to be here.
Start off with these 3 things here, 3 Wu-Tangs.
So it basically dips, then it goes into a few rollers.
To the first berm.
Then it comes into a hip.
Berm.
A few more berms.
It's a really turny course.
A few more rollers and a road gap.
That's about it. In Border Cross, there's a couple good guys, Chumpy and Chris Mahaney. They're bringing most of the points, and pretty big point race this week for FIS.
There's heaps of international riders down, some US riders, Japanese, Koreans, and us Aussies over to hang out with the neighbours. So it's good to be back in New Zealand. Had a fresh dump of snow. The guys have done a great job of the course. It should be really fun racing.
I'm with Aussie Philip McCann right now, and Phil, for the people that don't know, how rough does it get out there?
It gets rough, depending on the course. I think today it's a pretty straight course. There are a few berms that we'll probably see some bumping and knocking, but nothing too severe.
And so, personally, I don't know, but where do you hold back and what can and can't you do?
So pretty much everyone here goes on gentleman's rules, I suppose.
Yep.
You can't push, you can shoulder, you can nudge with your backside. I guess gentleman's rules going into berms, you don't really want to take out everyone and have a bad race. You kind of want to, sometimes you talk to each other,
yeah, depending
on which race it is and how you're going about it. But usually, yeah, gentleman's rules. So it's kind of like priority in the pipe. You call dropping. You kind of like, if someone's there before you and you can't do it, and you're going to take out everyone, you don't do it.
And does that? What about when you get into the finals and it's down to the nitty gritty and you really want to win?
I think it's just every man for himself.
So this is how the Border Cross plays out. Each rider gets a qualification run. This time will determine what heat they go into. Once in that heat, it's the top 2 that advance to the next round, and the bottom 2 are on their way home. Once they're in that next round, it's the top 4 that make their way into the big final.
Cameron Bolton made light work of the 3 Wu-Tangs at the beginning of the course. Also impressive was Chris Mahoney, who was enjoying the conditions.
It's a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday training was a little iffy in the beginning, and then it brightened up, and it was kind of like today, and we're blessed to have a day like this. I mean, for racing, like the last 2 races we did in Australia, the weather was just pretty iffy, like snowing hard, raining, and you couldn't see, but I'm very excited about the day today.
Phil Dominic had no problems dealing with the rollers, hips and berms. Australian Andy Fisher also charging. Alex Pullen generated great speed at the top of the course.
I'm just really enjoying to be on the board. as many months of the year as I can. A lot of the Northern Hemisphere people are stuck in summer right now, and any on-snow time spent on an icy glacier. So for us to have the opportunity to come, you know, from Australia season, the NZ season, it's a perfect opportunity for Southern Hemisphere athletes to take a real advantage out of that. So yeah, I'm just having a good time with it, loving the sport, loving the weather.
So that's it for the qualification round. From here on in, it's 4 competitors going head to head. This is where it gets gnarly. No wonder the Olympics made it a sport in 2006. The excitement level is right up there.
Quarterfinal 1 won the award for Crash of the Day. Alex Pullen dominated from there.
Yeah, I got a pretty good hole shot on everyone, which was nice to set me up well and just trying to get in my own groove. So run's still feeling really nice, really in good condition. So as it gets tighter and tighter towards the final, should be a lot of fun.
The tightest quarterfinal of the day was number 2. All riders had a clean run despite the congestion. And Japan's Shinya Momono was happy to take the win. Andy Fisher in red talks us through his duel with Michael Pearl in blue.
I got a good pull, but then Mikey came to the first berm, caught me, and then I think he stopped up, so yeah.
Despite the small mistake, quarter 3 finished with Fisher and Pearl going through to the next round with positions 1 and 2.
Riders on course.
Quarterfinal 4 saw a tense moment at berm number 1. But from there, Australia continued their dominance through Cameron Bolton in red. In the first women's semi-final, Val Brockhoff in the red bib was up against fellow Australian Amanda Taylor in yellow, and Japanese rider Karen Iwadari in blue. Brockhoff and Iwadari lost Taylor early on, and it helped Brockhoff gain a comfortable lead and first place in the first women's semi-final.
It was really nice, but it was really bumpy at the top, so I just full on cut it around. Lost a little bit of speed, but it was worth it. You know, I stayed on my feet and then cruised through. Had a bit of a head check behind, which you're not supposed to do. And yeah, I was ahead, so that was good.
Right basket, I would say now Gallen in the red. In the blue, bib number 4, Alexandra Lockie of Australia.
The second Snowboard Cross women's semi-final featured Aussie riders Annabelle Tudhope in the yellow and Alexandra Lockie in the blue. Early in the race, the riders were split, and then Kellen Shithlook Sifsoff of the USA lost it on a sharp right bend. Tudhope, who had lost ground earlier on, capitalised on the Americans' mistake and booked her place in the final, alongside Alexandra Lockie, who was happy with comfortably winning the semi.
What happened in that run?
I was in front and Callum put a pass on, and then in the second berm she like wiped, like there was no tomorrow, so I rode over her head and kept going.
The Australian rider Alex Pullen was looking for a smooth run in the first men's semi-final. Pullen in the red bib was up against Shinya Momono of Japan in yellow, Chris Mahaney of America in blue, and New Zealander Cody Logan in black. After the first bend, the riders were spread, and Pullen with the lead rode a clinical ride, and his position in front of Chris Mahaney was mostly uncontested. Cody Logan of New Zealand coming home with the third position and a place in the small final. In the second semi-final, Kiwi rider Phil Dominic was in the hunt for qualification into the men's final. But Dominic, wearing the black bib, was up against tough opponents in Australians Andy Fisher in blue, Cameron Bolton in red, and American Michael Pearl in yellow. Dominic found a line inside Fisher on the first corner that saw him into second position, which he held for most of the race. place in the final looking almost certain for Dominic. He came undone on one of the last bends before the final, resulting in qualification for Aussie lads Cameron Bolton and Andy Fisher.
Gentlemen, take us through what happened and what went down then.
Well, first off, the Aussies got out in front, and I was dead keen to get it back. So I took the tightest line possible and almost crashed, but managed to get through. But Cam managed to get out in front. He was leading for most of the way, but I was right on his tail, and then another Aussie boy was on my tail. And over that last road gap, pretty much lost it. But yeah, congrats to Cam.
The racing is getting tighter and tighter each round, and I'm sure the final is going to be great, as well as the small final. There's some great riders in the small final. Phil killed that. Yeah. His line through berm 1 was out of control, and he nearly had me, but then I dived, took berm 2 really low, and then he followed me for most of it until close to the end, but he rode really well, and it was fun racing.
That's how it's playing out at the Border Cross up here at Cardrona. We're going to be back really shortly with all the action from the finals.